difficult. This game, it really doesn't define us. We wasn't really aggressive come to start out, and so, that took a toll on us throughout the game, and so that's all I really have about that.
What do you mean by aggressive to start? Just explain that.
Taking shots down the field, medium passes, getting those executed, and that's really about it.
What would you say is the mindset of the locker room right now?
It's tough, What football team doesn't have a bad mindset after they take a loss, but that game really doesn't define us. It's the first away game, so it was going to be difficult. But, that game really doesn't define us, so we look forward coming in tomorrow, looking at the mistakes, where we messed up at, and coming back next week to get better.
Do you feel like the conditions, obviously the rain had a delay, did that impact what you all were trying to do on offense?
A little bit, but overall, when a game of football is played, weather shouldn't be a factor, and yeah.
You come out of that weather delay and they return the punt. How deflating was that for a comeback attempt?
That was a big response on their behalf, and they played a big factor. Obviously, the crowd plays a big factor. They came out, they took control of that opportunity, and they capitalized off that, and so that was a big factor coming out of halftime, that delay.
Tauskie, obviously the offense didn't have the most successful day, especially in the second half. But how comforting is it for the defense to kind of still keep you guys in the game, even though you can't get it right for future games going forward when you're in a tough spot and the defense can't help?
The defense, they showed up today. They did a tremendous job. Just offensively, we weren't able to get into the end zone very often. And we just got to come back, look at film. And as an offensive unit, come back, make sure we get into the end zone every chance we get.
Did you guys think this team was past having a day like today?
Could you repeat that?
Did you think this team was kind of past the point of having a day like today?
I wouldn't say that, but we know they were physical. We know they were going to play to the whistle, and they was going to give us everything they got. And so it just came down to competing. So they beat us on that behalf.
Tauskie, how do you bounce back from a game like this?
Just taking it in, go home, look at film, come back, ready for practice the following week, and get ready for the next opponent. We can't really look at this as like, oh man, this defines us. We can't really do that because we got about 8, 9, 10 more games. So if we focus on this, it's just going to be a domino effect. So we put this behind us, look at the mistakes we made, and get better at that.
Tauskie, knowing Brady, how do you think he bounces back from a tough day?
I know Brady will bounce back. He's an outstanding person and quarterback, and he's going to come in the film room, look at the mistakes he made, see where he can get better also, and he's going to come in the following week, getting ready for our next opponent.
Did it feel like a rivalry game at all? I heard the student section everywhere, I feel like.
Not really, but it was just that, that tension leading up to the game, but that really shouldn't be a factor. It really wasn't a factor. We knew what the expectation was, and we knew what we was coming into.
As a vet, how do y'all pick the whole team up? Because a lot of finger pointing can come out of this point loss like this.
Yeah, like a finger pointing can come out, but as a team, we got to understand we're as a whole unit. So if we divide up and separate, it's just gonna hurt us. Even though it's tough right now after a loss, we got to come together as one. Understand, the game of football is going to be ups and downs with that. You just got to be on the same page, come back as a whole team, as a whole unit stronger.
You mentioned it took a while to get some downfield shots that kind of tried to open up the offense. Was that the plan from the beginning, is to try to get vertical? And what do you think delayed you guys being able to do that?
We just didn't really come out aggressive as an offense, That's really about it, all I can say.
Tauskie, when you talk about being aggressive, what are some of those plays and designs that you kind of think the team likes to see, to be able to get into more of a rhythm and to start by setting that aggressive tone versus how did they win?
We got motions, things like that could tell us pre-snap if the defense is zone a man, and also where we looking to throw the ball pre-snap, and so we weren't aggressive with that, and so that really played a factor throughout the quarters.
Tauskie, were you guys rattled mentally at any point during the game, especially there when kind of 4 drives in a row ended in an interception?
No. We practice stuff like with noise, where we're distracting, so that really wasn't a factor. It's just the execution and competing. That's a part of the football game, and that's just how the game goes. You can't really let, a turnover define that series or the next series. You got to come out and execute, refresh your mind.